And just briefly again, before we open it up to questions, I do want to echo the gratitude that the mayor expressed to Gulfstream, the largest manufacturer in our state, and your whole team, President Burns, for this community service, this investment of your facilities in public health. And I want to reiterate what the mayor just said. Look, I speak every week with senior U.S. public health officials. There is a very real risk of a fourth wave of this COVID-19 pandemic, and it's up to us as citizens to follow public health guidance, wear a mask in public, avoid crowded indoor gatherings, maintain that physical distance in public places, and to get vaccinated so that we can defeat COVID-19 and get our daily lives back. And with that, I'm happy to answer your questions. Jake will call on you, please.
Want to start with Sam, and we can work our way down if that works?
Senator Ossoff, for starters, you've toured a few of these sites now, these facilities. What have you picked up on? What have you noticed? Is there differences, or what have you seen, I guess?
Yeah, I've been inspecting vaccine distribution sites all week. We'll continue all week. And one thing that stands out is how talented and effective the Georgia National Guard personnel are who have been working at these facilities. I had the pleasure of meeting with Guard leadership, meeting many of the soldiers with Georgia National Guard components when they were helping protect the U.S. Capitol in Washington. I've seen these extraordinary soldiers doing an outstanding job at these vaccine distribution sites. The other really important thing I want people to know is that the waits are tending to be short at these vaccine sites. So now is the time to make an appointment to get the vaccine. And it's myvaccinegeorgia.com. Myvaccinegeorgia.com is where you can find the nearest location and make an appointment. Thank you.
SAB, did you guys have anything?
So since this has been opened up to 16 and older, and the governor just did that, what's your advice to people to get more people out here? I guess it's open to people. You can now come get it. It's super easy. I guess, what do you tell people?
Yeah, the vaccine supply is here. The vaccine is available to every Georgian over the age of 16 free of charge. There are facilities like this one where it's very convenient, thanks to the hard work of our emergency management personnel and our National Guard soldiers. There are pharmacies across the region where it's convenient to get the vaccine. The vaccine is safe. It's time to get the vaccine now so that we can defeat this pandemic, and myvaccinegeorgia.com is the easiest way to sign up.
Senator Ossoff, what is your message to those who are still hesitant to get this vaccine after all this time?
Well, my message is that the vaccine is safe, that it's available now. I've received the vaccine. My wife, Alicia, who's a doctor, has received the vaccine. Millions of Georgians are getting vaccinated. The risk to our health is a fourth wave of this COVID-19 pandemic. That's why we need to follow CDC public health guidelines. Listen to the medical experts. Don't take it from politicians. Take it from the public health experts. And what the public health experts and the medical doctors are telling us is that we need to stay disciplined with our mitigation practices, right? That's wearing a mask, avoiding crowded indoor gatherings, maintaining that distance, and we need to go ahead and get the vaccine to defeat this virus.
Hi, Senator. Georgia has there's some feedback. But Georgia has consistently ranked below several other states in terms of the percentage of vaccinated or eligible people to be vaccinated. I believe the last time I checked, it was below 15%. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Georgia's vaccination rollout is being so slow?
Well, what I can report is that at the federal level and in Congress, we have appropriated huge sums in supercharging vaccine production and supply and distribution, and the vaccine supply and inventory is here and available. So now it's up to us as individuals to protect ourselves and our families by making the decision now to go ahead and get that appointment. Don't put it off into the future. The sooner we're all vaccinated, the sooner we can put COVID-19 behind us, recover economically, and get our daily lives back.
Hi, Senator. So another question is mainly talking about availability. Like you say, you can go onto the website to apply, but what about other communities, especially in rural areas that don't have access to internet or other, telecom communications? Will be harder to sign up online for your appointments. What are some other options in those areas that they can do so?
Great question. And in addition to the mass vaccine sites such as this one, many of which are run by FEMA or GEMA, there are also local community health centers, pharmacies across the state of Georgia. And look, there is more work to do to make sure that every single community has easy access, but the distribution is pretty robust at this point. And I want to encourage folks who do have internet access to visit myvaccinegeorgia.com, and I'll make sure that my staff provides to you a phone number for your story that you can include in your reporting so people know who they can call in case they don't have internet access. Thank you.
If I can ask you questions aside from the vaccine.
Sure, go ahead.
Your thoughts on the voting law that just went through here after the governor signed that?
I condemn this voter suppression law. They've made it a crime to offer folks water who are waiting in line to vote. It's outrageous, and it's never been clearer that we need to pass federal voting rights protections, a new Voting Rights Act in Congress.
Maybe one or two more.
Senator Ossoff, also a bit off topic from where we're at today, but as we see a lot of hope with vaccine sites and there's such a positivity going on with that, we can't help but look at the darkness going on when we see mass casualties from gun violence, and obviously there's legislation being worked on even within our own state. Could you respond to what you're seeing happen even here in Georgia legislation-wise when it comes to guns?
Sure. Well, I'm a co-sponsor in the Senate of a common sense bill that requires criminal history checks for firearms purchases. We need to grapple more deeply with the level of violence in American society. We've seen a huge increase in violent crime in the last year. There have been 2 weekends in the last month when there were 12 or more shootings in metro Atlanta. We had these 2 consecutive massacres week after week. So part of a solution is common sense gun safety reforms, and part of a solution is a broader look at reducing violence and violent crime across our country. And I've been engaging with senior leaders at the Department of Justice and the FBI to determine what we need to do to bring down the level of violence in American society.
Maybe have time for one more.
So why are you calling for an investigation into the Georgia Department of Labor?
Well, what I've called for is for the Georgia Department of Labor and the state of Georgia to determine why folks are having to wait so long to access unemployment insurance. My office has been inundated with calls from people who are being forced to wait weeks and months to access unemployment insurance, or never getting a call back, or being forced to reapply after these extensions when they've already been eligible for and receiving unemployment insurance. You know, this pandemic, which has forced so many people out of work, is nobody's fault. And so when folks need to access unemployment insurance because they lost their job through no fault of their own, but the state makes it so difficult, is unresponsive, and forces them into this bureaucratic maze just to get some basic help, that's unacceptable. And that's why so many colleagues in the Georgia delegation in Congress and I have banded together to demand answers from the department.
Great. All right. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks again.